So let the rhythm hit 'em, just let the rhythm hit 'em. 'Cause when you feel it in your soul, let the sound system, now turn it up. Up, a little louder, turn it up. Up, a little louder, turn it up.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. This is taken way up at the 25. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
38.
Lance going to put it up right away. And his first look is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Lance. And he's got his man on the out route. And in for the Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The slot man in motion right. On 1st down, it's Herbert. Gets this into the hands of Samaje Perine. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. From the 27, Herbert. That swung out wide to Harris. And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football, and they coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go, but when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over. Fortunate there.
So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. Herbert. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Lance now on 1st down. Checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Lance looking to throw it. This will be caught at about the 6. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
No one left in the backfield as they send a man left. Drake will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing. The body language at all, they look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. From the shotgun, here's Herbert.
Finding Harris on back-to-back plays. This defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. It's brought in by Harris.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They snap it to Herbert. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Let's go.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 30 yards.
You get a rookie tight end who can run like this, it just gives this offense a different dimension than they've had. It's going to be fun to watch his development and how this offense expands as this season moves along.
Okay,
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
On play action, Lance.
Now he's got it. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
From the 3, 2nd and a yard.
Watch out now. 50 Fury.
Now receiver in motion left.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Elijah Mitchell with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
To throw again on second down. Herbert, he's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Well, since we don't have a rooting interest in this one, neither one of us wanted to see this one get out of hand too early. Here we are in the first quarter. That was an important response for them to score already down 21.
Extra point up and through. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. This is taken way up at the 25. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us. Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Here we go.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On first down, Justin Herbert. Throw left side, hauled in by McBride. Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. Now they send a man in motion right. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. In motion left is a running back. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Herbert on 3rd down now. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Damian Harris from 4 yards out. And the Steelers have cut it back within a score. The CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You made me forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Pulls it in at the 13. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've seen their 21-0 advantage cut to just 7, so time to go back to work here. 1st and 10. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing now is Lance. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another big gain or 2 in succession as this one goes for 32. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. In motion left, that's Cooper. They run over center with Mitchell. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. They'll run with Mitchell. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Second down and goal. Lance. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Coup for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Following the touchdown, here's Coup to kick off. This one taken just inside the 10. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Slot man moves right. Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McBride. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Third and 2, Herbert. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Herbert back to the air. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But that's what they have to do more defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Throwing on second and long. Herbert, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Quality coverage that time. The slowdown has been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Well, defensively, they're doing everything they can to protect this early lead after giving up a touchdown on their last drive.
On 4th down, Herbert going up top. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he is going to have the Steelers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Here's Herbert. This will be caught at about the 6. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Let's go now.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert, touchdown! Trey McBride as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And they'll accept that penalty. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Green jack. Red cycle.
And Lance now to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he is out up around the 15-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? And Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three?
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. On 1st and 10, Herbert. He's going to go up top again. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year.
And the Steelers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
No problem there on the extra point. And we are all tied at 28. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand-new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And, Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Throwing on first down is Lance.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it.
And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. incomplete on the deep ball. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert.
Now he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, I don't want to take too much away from his performance throwing the football. He's got the 4 touchdown passes, but this now a 2nd interception of the ball game.
And partner, part of what's gotten him the 4 touchdowns is a certain fearlessness. But that fearlessness borders with recklessness, and the latter just occurred.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Mitchell. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. 1st down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Drill, 52.
The Lance going to throw. On the out route, he's got Thornton. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the byline, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal from very short range.
Let's go. Yellow, blue, ready.
Mitchell, touchdown, Baltimore. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive may be a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Herbert. He gets it complete to Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. Slot man moves right. Herbert. Throwing middle, and it's it's complete.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Herbert throwing again. Flushed out right.
On Herbert, his third interception. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. He called that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Shot, 17. Ready?
Now a play fake. Lance.
On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Amari Cooper, 42 yards.
And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath a short pass like that. But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Jair Elam makes a pick. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now it's Herbert. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 54 yards. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Steelers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. The extra point up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now this, a very short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
Striker, 3-3. You don't blue.
To try again after the sack. Lance. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Lance. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Off of play action, here's Lance. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Amari Cooper with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Takes it at the 7. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I would say just add that one to the total of big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Second and 10. Here's Herbert once more. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Herbert. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it, because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back. We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun, Herbert. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Herbert now. That's taken in by Duvernay. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
With that last completion, CD, he's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by David Long. And the Ravens are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this out past the 25.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Lance. He's going to let it go again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Cooper, the man in motion, left. On play action, Lance. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
The Ravens send their punter out now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other.
And now here's another interception. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
Throwing on first down is Lance. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ballgame.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Ravens, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.